These children, you can't fool them with religion. You can't fool them with lies. You can't fool them with hope and promise and all those. These kids want to see what you're talking about. Let me see it, you feel me? And what ends up happening is we have now an opportunity to make significant systemic change, but you have to be involved. I think we have like a 5-year window where we're gonna have to make real systemic changes, things that really matter, or we may not see this time again for another 100, 200 years, bro.
That long?
Yeah, I really believe that. Because this is a special, it hadn't felt this way since the 60s, bro.
Yeah. I commend you for all the work that you've done on the scenes and behind the scenes. Right. Seeing people come together for the Black Lives Matter movement, all the things that, you know, the people have came and unified together. You know, what's your thoughts on that?
You may be surprised when I say this, bro, but I'm sort of conflicted.
Okay.
Because so-called being woke is popular now.
When you say woke, what does that mean?
You know, the movement, being knowledgeable, being down with the people, that's sort of the cool thing to be now. And what ends up happening is even black people, we don't run to the people who've been talking that way all the time. We don't run to the people who have been making those sacrifices all the time. We run to the so-called popular people who've changed overnight and really haven't had the time in it to even research that long. I understand that people want stars because they're popular, but I really even believe myself. I believe I should only be the wrangler of people. And then you bring them to those people who have been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? And I believe any person that moves from movement to movement, they're not settled in anything and they're not to be trusted.
What pushed you towards being this activist?
The crazy thing is people think I got conscious 2 years ago. I've been conscious since the 11th grade, but I'm from the hood.
But you don't got the voice, or you didn't have the voice.
And I didn't have the money, I was hungry. Man, most of these kids don't want to sell dope, but you tell them to go to school, but I see my uncle who got a master's degree and out here next to him, he's not doing that neither. I had prayed to God that if I didn't have to go the dope route, sell drugs no more, do nothing like, or have to find a local dope dude to invest in me, that I made a promise to God that I would praise his name. So Like a Pimp hit, and I was one of the few dudes that wasn't connected to nobody. Think about it, I was one of the only dudes probably in recent history that didn't have no cosign.
Bro, you were the only dude from, when they say Mississippi, like you are the staple, you are that. You know what I'm saying?
But what ended up happening was, I didn't know whether I was gonna have another song after Like a Pimp. So I said, I better think this is all David Banner. I believe that family is only extra excuse to go with me.
What?
I believe family is how people treat you. My family is people I got around me. Those are the people
that don't share your last name.
The people that I got around me right now have done me better. I got a friend, and I was telling my mom about him in college. Like, he was my roommate in college, and literally I had a vision that I was semestering the thesis away from my master's degree. I had a 3.9987 in accelerated master's program from the hood, right? And I dropped out of school a semester in the thesis away from my master's degree at the University of Maryland.
Why wouldn't you get it?
Shit, I made $10 million. You know, a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? 2 years later, I was making more than the president of the college. You know what I'm saying? But he at the time we was broke, and I told him that I needed to leave, and he asked me, he's like, "Do you think that vision was from God?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you need to leave." And my mom said, "You need to go find that boy. You're not gonna find friends like that." So like after I went through that depression, I went over around America and went and found all of my greatest friends and brought everybody back together. And now I think they like each other better than they like me.
Man, that's crazy.
But like I think that's what people like us need to start doing. We need to create think tanks of people who have had these opportunities and these failures and these wins, and try to be available for these kids. One of the things that I can say that I like is that the children often tell me that I'm smart, but I'm not judgy.
So that's important.
They don't mind coming to me and asking questions, man. And so I'm just grateful because my mom told me this and I never forget this. She said, you should just be grateful that you see.
Right.
Whether you're able to teach other people, that's their responsibility,
You're right.
Cam, because I watch you try to put people on to certain things. If they don't listen, that's their fault.
That's their fault.
But my mom said some people, and y'all excuse me because this is personal, but I think about my grandmother.
Yeah.
My grandmother was one of the greatest tragedies, I think, because she died thinking she was blessed. And she was very oppressed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they actually got my grandmother going to the grave smiling about these white folks historically treating her like shit.
But let's be clear. Because racism is real. But in order for us to make the next step with racism, we got to do right by ourselves first.
But, hold on, but the thing about that, I hear that a lot. That's easy to say for somebody who has been illuminated and understand. But we got to understand, if you read Frantz Fanon's Black Skin, White Mask, most black people look at themselves through the eyes of white people. So we treat ourselves like the people who we want to be like.
Yeah.
The way that we wear our hair, that's the reason why it's so important, the statement that you made. You have to be unapologetically African.
Yeah.
And if you don't love yourself and you don't like the way that you look, how you think you're gonna treat other people? Because if you don't like being black in the first place,
right.
You're not gonna shop with black folks.
Right. Man, you've produced and worked with, you know, the T.I.s of the world, Jill Scotts of the world, Lil
You did
Wayne.
your homework.
Lil Wayne, come on, bro, come on. Lil Wayne, Chris Brown. I mean, shit, the list goes on.
Over 80 major artists.
Yeah.
People don't even know that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Who's in the game right now would you like to work with?
That I would like to work with that's in the game, 21 Savage.
For real?
I love 21 Savage.
21.
I think there's something about his voice, similar to Boosie, Guru from Gangstar. He has that high register voice. Wayne, that voice that cuts through the beat.
Yeah.
Because one thing I found with myself, it's hard for people to hear my lyrics because I have a bass filled voice, so it gets caught up in all of the 808s in our music, you know?
And especially in down south music where we need the boom to match the bang and the highs.
Up south.
Up south.
We ain't down.
Outside.
And we ain't third coast, we the first coast.
You dig what I'm saying? I ask every guest that comes on the show the same question.
Okay.
And it's simple. What's now? What's next for David Banner? And what's something that you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
Okay, what's now? DavidBanner.com, David Banner Podcast, the Banner Vision, business. Like, they're